world, good morning. This is Simon Vegro, and I hope everyone had a lovely Easter. We hope you had a great time. We were just chatting before we went live about the very weird weather we're having, but I hope some of you enjoyed some sunshine before the snow kicked in. I'm delighted to say hello to everyone joining today's Zoom Live, and also to the large number of people who watch and listen to it later on. We've got more and more people every week seem to be watching it on Facebook and on our website, so hello to you all if you're not doing it live. And the Active in Redbourn team will hope you enjoy it. And I know every week I have to say this, it gets a bit boring actually, especially for me, but I'll just rattle through the housekeeping bit. People joining are automatically muted with the video turned off. If you want to preserve your anonymity still further, you can change your name in Zoom. I suppose one of the benefits of doing this week after week is that I can say anonymity better than I ever could before. You can use the chat function to send questions if you'd like to, and we'll see if we can answer them. And this is now being live streamed to the Redbourners Facebook page, and we are now global, and our producer's looking good, so I think we're good to go. And if I've forgotten anything, I'm now inviting him to give you the thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up, brilliant. In that case, let's go. We've got another full program today. I'm going to start with an update from the wonderful Liz Richards at the Health Centre of the Village. Good morning to you, Liz.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. So first of all, let's just chat about the sun being in the wrong place. What can we do about that? What can the Health Centre do about that?
Oh, I don't think we're quite clever, but not that clever. So okay. Sorry about that.
Not to worry. So we can see you pulling the blind before we get started. So Liz, what have you got for us today? We're all ears.
Okay. Hi everybody. Just to give you a quick update today. So they're up at Batchwood today, vaccinating lots of people. It's a busy day today. At the moment, you're probably aware, due to what's been seen in the media, etc., that most of the vaccines we're giving at the moment are second doses, because our deliveries for second doses have confirmed. So most of the vaccination that's going on is second doses. We don't know when we're next getting first doses. Again, the government, there seems to be a bit of a delivery block about first doses during the month of April, which was widely reported on. And at the moment, if we do get any first doses, we're being told that we have to do everything we can to mop up anybody over 50. So we're not allowed yet to go to the next cohort down, so to the 45 to 50-year-olds. So I would urge anybody that's listening that's over 50 that have had an invite to please act on it, either to book themselves in when appointments are available, or to decline it if you don't want it, because then we'll stop sort of nudging you, as it were. So yeah, so please respond to your invitations when you get them. That's for everybody over 50. We're expecting an announcement this Thursday, which we're hoping might be for us to be able to go down to the younger age groups. But we haven't had that confirmed yet, but that's what we're hoping. We're getting lots of queries at the moment about, because again, stuff that's been saying in the news about vaccine passports, and can people have evidence from us that they've got, that they've had their vaccines. So we have no official documentation to give you about that is a vaccine passport. So at the moment, what patients will have is they'll have the card that they got when they had their vaccine, but also you are able to prove that you've had your vaccine from your medical record, and you can access this via the NHS app. So there is an app that you can download called the NHS app, and you follow the instructions and you link yourselves to our surgery, to the Lodge surgery, and then under medications you can see that you've had 1 or 2 of your vaccines. So that is evidence for you at the moment. But other than that, we don't have anything to give you at the moment. We've not been told of any official documentation that we can give you that counts as a vaccine passport. But if you do want to prove that you've had a vaccine, then use the NHS app to be able to prove that. Anybody can have that that's over 16, 13 to 16-year-olds, even though they haven't had the vaccine anyway. But if that comes about in the future, then they need to come into the surgery for us to give them access. But anybody over 16, and all you need to be able to access the app is to have an email address, a mobile number, driving license or passport to prove your identity. Okay.
Liz, can I just ask, is it the same app? Sorry, is it the same app that you use to check into places, or is it a different NHS app?
No, it's not the COVID app.
Right,
so there's
okay.
it's a different one. It looks very similar on the sort of Play Store, as it were, but it's I've downloaded it. There's the one you're talking about. It's called the NHS COVID-19.
Yeah.
This one is just called the NHS app.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt there. I just curious.
No, that's fine. No, that's all I had really. I haven't got anything else to update anybody on. So unless you had any particular questions, then
I've got two, if I may, just very quickly, without putting you on the spot too much.
No, that's fine.
When people get their second dose, just out of interest, is it less of it than the first dose? If you see what I mean? Is it like in terms of quantity of stuff?
No, exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay. And the second question I had for you is, I think you mentioned this a few weeks ago, but if when people go for their second dose, they go to the same place or use the same mechanism, if you like, to get it as they did the first time round. Is that correct?
Yes. So you should, wherever you got your first, they should be the first people that you contact to get your second, because the deliveries follow where you had your first. So they will have, if you like, a vaccine with your name on it. There are a few people where that doesn't work for whatever reason. There are some people that had a vaccine in their first vaccine in a hospital, and then the hospital aren't doing second vaccines for whatever reason. So those people need to contact us and we will book them in for their second. And we have got a waiting list of a few people that need to accelerate their second vaccine dose because they're about to start chemotherapy or something like that. And again, we can facilitate that if that applies to individuals. So we're looking at those on an individual basis. But the general rule is that you should go back to where you had your first one to get your second, because that's where the delivery will be. We can't accommodate everybody, for instance, that decided to have their first at Robertson House in Stevenage,
sure,
because we won't get the delivery of second vaccines for them. Robertson House will. So people need to go back to where they had their first.
Thank you, Liz, for clarifying that. That's the end of my questions for today. Thank you very much for a wonderfully succinct and perfect update as always.
Very succinct. And Simon, I'll get in touch with you about your query earlier.
Yes, if you don't mind. Yes, sorry.
Yes,
Just a super quick one would be nice. Thank you very much, Liz.
No problem at all. Nice
to keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
Cheerio. Thank you.
Bye.
Wonderful work from the health centre as always. And now I'd like to move on to young Will. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Simon.
How are you today?
I'm really well, thank you.
Good. How's the running going?
Mixed bag. I have to say, last week was a bit of a kind of a low spot. A small matter of 19 services kind of got slightly in the way of things. So, but I'm on holiday this week, so I'm hoping to get back on the treadmill in earnest and make up for lost time. So, if I'm perfectly honest, last week was a bit of a write-off, but I'm back on it this week. But that's the nature of these things. I think, you don't give up at the first sort of hurdle or whatever. There will be some ups and downs. I know it's going to be a bit of a long path for me, I think.
Okay, I feel a bit guilty now. I didn't realise you're on holiday, Will. We would have let you off, but
No, that's okay. No, it's no problem at all. I don't need a second invitation to sit and have a mug of coffee with you.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, well, so have you had any thoughts for this week? Spit it out.
Yeah, I wanted to begin by wishing everyone a very happy Easter, and I suppose the first thing to say is the lovely thing about Easter is that it lasts for 50 days, so we can continue to say Happy Easter and celebrate right up until Pentecost on the 23rd of May. I wonder how people here on the call who watch it later celebrated this weekend just gone. We had a beautiful service in church first thing, and then a wonderful celebration in the churchyard at 10 o'clock. And following on from my thought last week, yes, we did sing, and it was amazing to be able to do so. We also managed to see some family and friends, as that is now permitted outside. So we saw my in-laws on Easter Day, and we hadn't seen them at Christmas and for several months before that. So that was very special and rather emotional. And we sat in their garden and had a roast lunch, which had been cooked at one of their local pubs. And then on Monday, despite the weather forecast, we hosted our best friends here for a rather chilly gathering in the vicarage garden. It was a bit of a dilemma to know what was the best thing to serve them. It needed to be hot food, but relaxed and flexible, as several people like different things. In the end, I plumped for a Mexican lunch. So it's fajitas and nachos and dips, and people could choose what they had. So in effect, we had guacamole in a gazebo. And it got me thinking about some funny names. Guacamole is derived from aguacatl, where we get the word avocado, and mole means a sauce. So through Latin American Spanish to Nahuatl, which is the native language of the Aztecs, we get a word which means avocado sauce. but what about gazebo? Well, it isn't clear where that name came from, but it emerged in use in the mid-18th century, perhaps as a playful portmanteau word, a Latin word from Ibo, I do, and gaze, to look, of course. So a building that you look out of. And notice that I mentioned portmanteau, which is, of course, a French term meaning a suitcase, to carry a cloak, a word that carries another meaning. But I digress, and when don't I? So a gazebo is a covered structure outside that you can shelter in and look out of, a bit like a belvedere, which, of course, is an Italian word which means beautiful view. So you get the gist of what I'm saying. So many words that we use in everyday speech are from a huge number of different countries. Later this week, because I'm on holiday, I might go to a gymkhana before returning home to my bungalow to eat kedgeree in my pajamas. Or I may make a faux pas whilst talking to an entrepreneur eating a croissant outside a cafe. It's all a bit of fun, but it reminds us of how language evolves and reflects both our needs and our influences. It's a strong reminder of our interconnectedness. The rules mapping our way out of the current lockdown mean that we can now see up to 6 people or 2 households outside. But there is an ongoing debate about travel. When will that be possible, and to which countries? And what will be needed in order to go from one country to another? A COVID passport. Passport is an old French word, by the way, a piece of paper to go through a gate or a door. Or will we need to quarantine? A Latin term via another French word meaning about 40 days. It isn't clear at all what is going to be possible and when. I don't suspect that choosing which countries are on the red list or the amber list or the green list will be any less political or prone to unconscious bias than the machinations about vaccine supply. I'm fairly resigned to the fact that we won't be taking our planned holiday overseas in August, despite our travel company getting on the phone yesterday to inform us that the flights had changed and would be one day earlier going out and one day earlier coming back. Well, it doesn't matter to us and ultimately may well be irrelevant, but the travel operator is clearly working on the basis at the moment that it is still going ahead. We'll see. The fact is that whilst the data is now really good in this country, thank God, areas of Europe are showing rises in infection rates again, and with it, increased restrictions are back in place. And further afield, Brazil has just hit a rather grim milestone of topping 4,000 deaths in a day for the first time. It has rising infection rates and now has almost 337,000 deaths, second only to the United States. So the old mantra still rings true. until everybody is safe, no one is safe. So I would say to our listeners this morning, eat guacamole in a gazebo, natter with your neighbour, and even have ketchup at your catch up in snatch up. But let's not drop our guard now. Let's stay safe and keep others safe as well.
Fabulous, Will.
Oh,
I don't know where to start. Okay. Your breadth of knowledge and interest is quite truly staggering over the last month that we've been chatting. Just out of interest, I'm going to ask you a question now. If you went on Mastermind, what do you think your specialist subject would be?
Oh,
I'm not necessarily going to say we'll do it live on one of these, but that would be fun, wouldn't it? That would really put you under pressure, wouldn't it? But what do you think your specialist subject would be?
Oh God, I don't know. Probably around on the band Depeche Mode.
Really?
Possibly, yeah.
Good Essex boys, where I'm from God's Own County.
Yeah. Basildon boys.
Yeah.
Possibly. It depends how tight they are. Either the Books of Evelyn Waugh, or if I could be more specific, Brideshead Revisited would be in there.
Fantastic book.
Great Expectations, Charles. I don't know. I don't know. I've got no intention of going. I think it's far too difficult. I sit there at home just blown away by the contestants. They've got to have a specialised subject and be really good at general knowledge. And I think it's
they got to have another specialist subject if they get through it. I think they've got to have a second specialist subject as well, haven't they? Later on, which is remarkable. Yeah.
Actually, I've just thought one of my rounds, if I needed a specialist subject to manage to get through the Adventures of Tintin.
Tintin, oh wow.
Which I love as well. Yeah, so we might have a Tintin round.
Okay, well maybe I haven't made notes, Will, but I might just fire a few questions at you next week.
Okay, that's set me up for a fall.
It has. I mean,
no,
so my specialty subject, unsurprisingly, would be Pink Floyd. And not long ago, a guy actually did Pink Floyd as his specialty subject. We're probably going back about 3 or 4 years. So I recorded it and then did it live. And I'm pleased to say I beat him on the Pink Floyd round. However, on general knowledge, I got 1. So I wouldn't have got anywhere. So there we go. The general knowledge is a killer.
But I think my predecessor, Duncan Swan, did go on Mastermind. And yeah, he did. And I think his specialised subject was British punk rock, which is a slightly interesting choice for a vicar.
Yeah. As is Depeche Mode, I think, but I'm pleased that they are very. What's that famous one of theirs? Just Can't Get Enough. Is that them?
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, that's an early one.
Raking my memory there. Brilliant. Well, Will, that's a brilliant contribution as always. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. I'm sorry to have brought you on your holiday.
No problem at all. Good to be here.
And I look forward to catching up with you again next week. Thanks, Will.
Thanks,
when I might fire some Mastermind questions at you.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, and next up we have our onto our producers, if I may, and ask Olive and Ivan to take us through what's on. This is when I say that we're not the BBC.
Right, here we go.
Thank you, Olive.
I'm really excited about this week because things are starting to happen. Socially distanced, excellent. So we've got bowls up and running, and competition starts today on the bowls pitch up at the recreation centre, all socially distanced. And if anybody wants to come along and watch, they'd be very happy to have a crowd as long as you stay outside the perimeter fence and you stay socially distanced. And so that's the first thing. Now we've got the cricket club. They're up and going as well. Training starts on Tuesday, the 13th of April for the senior teams. And if you're interested in playing cricket, do contact the Redbourn Cricket Club. The best place to catch them, I think, is on Facebook. On the 1st of March, their first match in Redbourn is on the 17th of April. On the 8th of May is their first league match. And the week commencing the 26th of April, the junior matches start. So it's all happening. And then a very special event we have from Active in Redbourn is April the 21st is Zoom Bingo. If you've never played Zoom Bingo, we've tried it out and it's great fun. We do recommend it to everybody. Details will be on activeinredbourn.co.uk. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Olive. That was a wonderful and a very comprehensive assessment of what's coming up. I should say, by the way, if any of you listening that want to advertise your own things on that little slot, please let us know. Whether it's your sports club or just events coming up, please let us know. The next section today is one I'm particularly fond of always, which is Redbourn Recommends. We've had some fantastic recommendations over the past few weeks, mainly of books, I have to say. So I wanted to put a little plug for those of you that might want to perhaps recommend something other than books. By the way, books are my favourite things, not knocking books in any way, but TV programmes, movies, podcasts. I thought last night maybe recipes, who knows, anything, but anything you want to recommend to the wonderful people of Redbourn, please let us know. So today, what have we got on the system? And the first one we have today is The Second Child by Caroline Bond, which is recommended by the lovely Rachel Mackey.
Hello, my name's Rachel. I live in Redbourn and have done for the past 7 or 8 years now. I'd like to recommend a book that we recently read for Redbourn Book Club, and the author actually came and discussed it with us. It's called The Second Child by Caroline Bond. I'd recommend any of her books. I think she's written about 4 or 5 now, and they're equally fantastic reads. So The Second Child is really a really moving and powerful story. It's about a family whose life is torn apart. They discover that the child they've brought up for the last 15 years isn't theirs. And to add to that, the child was born with a genetic condition which had kind of shaped the course of their life so far. It's really emotional, gripping, really a page turner. It's a quick read. I'd say that Caroline Bond writes characters really well. She's really honest and manages to really captivate you with her character description. It brings up themes of family, love, loyalty, and really what makes us human. It's a great read. It's absolutely beautifully written, and I definitely recommend it. Enjoy.
That sounds like a really powerful recommendation.
My name's Rachel
there. And the second one is called The Social Dilemma on Netflix by Kieran Robinson. Let's hear this one, please, Olive and Ivan.
Hello, my name is Kieran Robinson, and for Redbourn Recommends, I recommend The Social Dilemma, which is a documentary on Netflix. The documentary looks at the potential these social media platforms have to make the world a better place, but how they are often used to tap into our basic emotions to ensure we engage for as long as possible. The documentary looks at how social media platforms can be used to promote fake news and nudge elections in particular directions. The documentary includes the testimonies from a number of top engineers from major social media platforms, which adds to its credibility. Many of us will have questioned the benefits of social media in our own lives, and if we are parents, have fears over how we best educate our own children to navigate it. It's definitely worth a watch if you have not seen it already. Hope you enjoy.
Another really good recommendation there from Kieran. As I said before we did them, if you want to get your own in, please submit them to us. We're really keen to get them. If you want to listen to one of these afterwards, you can find it on our website. And if you want to send in one of your voice recordings, please send it into info@activeinredbourn.co.uk. Like I said, we're really keen to get more. Just before we move on to the pièce de résistance for today, which is picking up on Will's theme of modern language, I've had some chat, which is very exciting because I never get any chat. So Brian Gunson apparently is telling me that tennis is happening. So tennis is happening big style. So there we go, world and Redbourn. Tennis is happening big style. Thank you for that, Brian. Let's go and win Wimbledon or whatever tennis players do these days. Okay, so finally then, bit I'm always looking forward to. Just a quick hello to you, David. How are you this morning in the team?
We're very well, Simon. Glad to be here.
Very good, very good. Now, I want to remind myself as much as anything else about your plans to perform live. Are they still on schedule? And can you remind us of the dates and stuff, please?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we are planning to perform Lockdown in Little Grimley, our delayed December production in, I think, mid-July. I haven't got the dates right in front of me. But they will be well publicised, and we're hoping to start rehearsals from the 17th of May, which is when 6 people are actually allowed to meet indoors. So, but yes, it's a exciting, very funny one-act play. We're featuring the Little Grimley Amateur Dramatic Society, and the characters there trying to, again, get a production going during lockdown.
And I think I'm right in saying you'll be doing it on more than one. Won't there be more than one performance?
Yes, it's following the format we were going to do in December. So it's a one-act play, lasts about 50 minutes, and we're going to be performing it twice each evening. At the moment, 7 and 9, but it's going to use 2 casts. So there's four people in each cast. So we're actually doing 2 separate versions for 2 separate casts each evening. So 6 performances in all. And
in, I guess, in the village hall.
And that's all in the village hall. Absolutely, yeah.
Super. Can't wait, David. I'm sure the village is on tenterhooks, so waiting for that one. So
yeah, no. The moment that's sort of firmed up, we'll definitely have it in your what's coming up, your news section. We'll put that in.
Lovely. We'll look forward to that. Okay, David. So if we're ready to go, a slight pause. I've got a little something to read, and then we'll go for today's wonderful edition of the Snatch Ups. And now it is time to head over once again to the picturesque Hertfordshire village of St Mary's for the 11th instalment of our weekly serial, The Snatch Ups. When we left it last week, Grandad had inadvertently burgled his own house, which made me giggle. Tim was convinced he had witnessed a kidnapping, and Jane was distraught after breaking up with Gary.
Oh, I can't believe Gary's dumped me. I thought we were getting on so well. Obviously, we haven't been able to see so much of each other during lockdown, but I thought everything was fine.
Well, what exactly did he say? What reason did he give?
He said that he didn't think things were working out, and he thought it'd be better if we didn't see each other anymore.
Well, maybe it's for the best.
But I don't think that's the real reason. I think he might be seeing someone else.
What makes you think that?
Well, there was a girl's jacket behind the front seat of the van.
Well, maybe there's a simple explanation.
I asked him whose it was, and he said it was his sister's.
Has he got a sister?
Yes.
Well, there you are then.
Except she lives in Birmingham.
Well, maybe she was just visiting.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, then maybe she wasn't visiting and he's lying through his teeth.
Oh, Mum, how could he?
Well, if you ask me, you're better off without him.
Well, you would say that. You've never liked him.
Well, I don't want you marrying a total loser.
That's exactly what my father told me before I married you. And look what happened.
Oh, that's right. Bring all that up again.
Well, sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd made the other choice. Oh, hello, Tim. What's up?
Jane, you're not going to want to hear this, but I've just seen Gary's van outside Sarah Trollope's house. They were sitting in the garden together and seemed to be getting on very well.
Oh, then it's true. He has been cheating on me.
Sarah Trollope, that floozy. She's got so many notches on her bedpost, I'm surprised it's still standing. Her mother was the same. I was at school with her. Her bedroom should have been fitted with a revolving door.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, Jane, but I think you've had a lucky escape.
You'll get over it, love. I had my heart broken a few times as well.
You mean by Uncle Rodney?
No, I didn't mean him. Whatever gave you that idea?
Oh, I just thought, well, maybe it's best I go for a walk. I need some space to clear my head.
I think that's a good idea. We'll see you later.
So, Tim, what's with the rock T-shirt and the jeans?
Well, I formed a heavy metal band. We're going to rock the establishment with climate-friendly protest songs.
Formed a band? But you can't play anything.
I'm the singer.
Singer? You're tone deaf. And you've always been terrified of going on the stage.
Well, it's different now. I think I've found my true calling. We signed up to play our first gig at the Fun Day on the Common on the 3rd of July.
Are you sure about this, Tim? I mean, you don't want to make a fool of yourself.
Just wait till I'm up there on the stage. Then you'll see who's making a fool of themselves. And we'll be premiering my new song. It's a song of hope for a better and more optimistic future.
What's it called?
It's called If We Don't Act Now, We're All Going to Die.
That sounds a bit depressing.
Yeah, but that's what we're about, telling it how it is. It sends a powerful message.
So who's in this band of yours?
Well, there's me, Mick Phillips on guitar, Darryl Turner on bass and Grandad on drums.
Grandad?
Yes, he's really good. He used to be in a skiffle group when he was younger. He was a big fan of Donny Lonergan.
I remember him saying he was in a group, but I just assumed he was the roadie or something.
But isn't Grandad a bit old to be playing in a heavy metal band?
No, in fact, he's a bit of a celebrity. Everyone assumes he's someone famous from years ago. Anyway, I was wondering if I could invite the band round for a jam session in the garden.
Oh, you mean with scones and things for afternoon tea? Oh, that would be nice. We could meet them all.
No, Mum, a jam session, you know, a rehearsal.
Oh, but won't it annoy the neighbours?
Well, why should it? They'll know good music when they hear it.
Yes, but what are the chances of them hearing any?
Morning all. Excuse the leather jacket and the sunglasses, but it's part of my new image.
Oh, here he is. St Mary's answer to Keith Moon.
Oh, it's been great to get behind a kit again. You don't lose it, you know. You should hear our cover of Ace of Spades.
I don't believe this. It's as if I've just arrived in some parallel universe.
I was going to ask Jane if she would ask Gary if we could use his van to ship our gear around.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea right now, Grandad. Jane and Gary have split up.
Oh, I wondered why he was parked outside Sarah Trollope's house. I thought he might have been investigating an issue with her downstairs facilities.
Well, that might be a lot closer to the truth than you think.
Anyway, we think the band could be really going places.
Well, I'm not sure the Bulls Club is ready for a Motorhead tribute band as they're after a dinner entertainment at their fish and chip supper.
I meant the summer festival circuit.
The summer festival circuit? But that's for serious musicians. You think a key change is getting the locks replaced.
Hello? It's Jane. She says she's feeling a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, she says she went round to Sarah Trollope's house, gave her a slap, kicked Gary in the ghoulies and slashed the tyres of his van. So where are you now, Jane? What? In the back of a police car?
What's happened?
Jane's been arrested for assault and criminal damage. But she says it's worth it just to see Gary doubled up in pain and Sarah Trollope with a black eye.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hey, that sounds like a great title for a song. And on that bombshell, we must leave it for this week. Will Gary manage to repair his damaged inner tube, or will he have to fix the tyres on the van first? Will we ever find out who it was that broke Brenda's heart? And will Tim and Grandad's band be the next Oasis, or just another mirage? All will be revealed in next week's exciting episode of The Snatch-Ups.
And there you go, everybody. Another wonderful episode of the Snatch Ups. I've got a quick message for Jane, actually, who I feel very sorry for. What's the quote? Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, I think is a message for Jane. So hang on in there, Jane. You'll be fine.
Oh, thank you.
I am worried about you.
I'll keep looking.
Keep looking. Okay. So thank you to everybody for dialing in this week. Thank you to all the contributors. Thank you especially to our trainee producer, who I think we all ought to applaud, did a fantastic job, despite the fact that he was very worried. Well done, trainee producer. I think, by the way, he's actually producing properly next week with no assistance because of the impending arrival of a grandchild. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
Stay safe, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy whatever the weather's going to bring. And I look forward to catching up with you all next Wednesday morning at 11 on the dot. Have a wonderful time. And goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.